so this is Steve Atlas at Atlas Training Systems, and I am with Ido Portal from Israel. And I just thought, for the purposes of having Ido in the United States for a little while, for people that are interested in knowing a little bit about him, I thought we would ask him some questions. So, Ido, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
And why don't you tell us a little bit about, briefly, your childhood and how it kind of evolved into the self-dominance phenomenon that we see now on YouTube.
Well, as a child, I was always involved in martial arts and sports, and it started out in the classical karate training, and later on some kung fu hang-out training. And I was always driven to learn more about my body, to control my fears, and this was actually the beginning at around a very early age, 10 years old and on. I played some soccer afterwards and was involved in sports pretty much the whole time, and afterwards the pre-army service and going through some preparation for the army. And at 16 years old, 15 years old, I went out of a class in school, and I saw an ad for capoeira training, and it was like a day after I saw Only the Strong Survives, and was blown away by the movie and this strange art. So I decided to go. I ripped the head so only I could enjoy the class, and I went with a friend, and I was really kind of suspicious. It looked like a dance type of thing, and I wasn't really into that, and started to train, and rather quickly I became one of the leading students, and started to help to teach. And later on, a year later, at 16 years old, I was already in a trip to Brazil with a couple of other capoeiristas friends, and this is the way that everything started. And later on, after many years of capoeira training, I started to become a bit bored with the direction that capoeira is going, seeing the same stuff over and over pretty much, and finding little inspiration in many of the capoeiristas and rodas that I would frequent. And I realized that I'm going to lose capoeira, and else I'll be able to bring some new motivation and inspiration into my practice. So I decided to explore some new areas, and some areas that doesn't quite combine directly into capoeira, and I decided to build a bridge between them and my capoeira. And this is the way that self-dominance started. I started to practice a lot of gymnastics and hand balancing, at first on my own, and later on with a more professional approach. And I started to do some special conditioning and work my flexibility in a more precise way, exploring anatomy and physiology, and exploring the mind, and using meditation to get into a kind of a zone type of control over my practice, and different aspects of training and conditioning the body and the mind. And this is what I mainly deal with now. I try to bring it into everything that I do, and I fell in love in various arts on the way, and I practiced them with no direct connection to capoeira, but afterwards I try to implement it into my capoeira. I never lost this kind of my love to the art and my objective, and this is pretty much what happens nowadays.
Good. When you look back over the past 5 to 10 years in particular, were there any
many inspiration, and many gurus. Some of them I don't know personally. I read about them in books and got inspired. Some of them I had the luck of meeting and working with seriously, and in various aspects. To tell you the truth, I can get inspiration and motivation for my training and my practice and my art nowadays from things that are not even remotely similar to what I do. So I can see a painter and see that he is in the zone. He is one with his art, and I get inspired by it. I saw some rock climbing, and I did some rock climbing, and I understood the challenges there, and it got me inspired to do some more work. And of course, the people that were part of my development, Master Claude Victoria, a master hand balancer that I went to learn with in France, my capoeira master who taught me a lot, Idan, Master Idan, and many good capoeiristas that influenced me over the years, and physiology experts and anatomy experts and training experts like Charles Poliquin, and many friends and colleagues in the field that also are doing some impressive work.